Hi guys, it's Jackie. Today I want to talk about the Dollar Tree Goosebumps dupes creepers. I have 4 of them here. I believe there are 14 in the series. Yes, 14, as you can see on the back. I have 4 of them right here. 9, 10, 11, and 14. I just grabbed everything that my Dollar Tree had. What are these? These are basically Goosebumps books, but they are exclusive to Dollar Tree. I don't know when these came out, but I believe they are relatively new. I heard about them, I saw them in the Dollar Tree, and I was like, what the heck? I'm gonna try them out, I'm gonna read a few. And honestly, they were super engrossing and honestly fun. A lot of fun. I have been wanting to get Goosebumps books. Even secondhand, they are kind of pricey, okay? I went to a local bookstore and they were $6 each. I went to another local bookstore and they were $4 each. That's a little much, especially since they are so short and you're gonna want to get several of them. That adds up quick. Now these books were $1.50 each. I don't know how this compares to Goosebumps, but the text is absolutely huge. And they're very, very short stories. None of them are over 100 pages, and they might not even be exactly 100 pages each. But honestly, these books got me out of my reading slump. My physical reading slump. I primarily listen to audiobooks. I'm addicted to audiobooks. I love them. There's nothing wrong with listening to audiobooks, but I personally have been wanting to do more physical reading. And honestly, it is these books that did it for me. I started with this one, Mirror, Mirror, and I'm glad I started with that one because it turned out to be my favorite of the bunch. It was honestly super good. The story was pretty decent for something so short and sweet. It was interesting, it was exciting, and it was short. And finishing that book encouraged me. It gave me that feeling like, wow, I can read and finish a book. And it has helped me start bigger books that I intend to finish. That one was super good. That one I would rate the highest out of the 4 that I got. Dr. Death, which is number 9, Mirror, Mirror, which is number 10, The Wishing Well, which is number 11, The Rocking Chair, which is number 14. My personal ranking would be Mirror, Mirror, The Wishing Well, The Rocking Chair, and then Dr. Death. You're gonna hear the air conditioning come on. I'm sorry, it's Arkansas and it's 100 degrees even at night. This was the most interesting of the bunch. It is about a family, 3 sisters, and they buy a mirror and a ballerina music box secondhand. Those 2 things turn out to be connected in a paranormal way that affect the sisters deeply, and they meet a girl in the mirror who is also deeply affected by these objects, and they are connected to her and her well-being. I don't want to spoil it because this is actually a good book, so I think you should check it out to see how the sisters interact with the mirror and the music box and how everything is connected and what happens. The next one, The Wishing Well, is kind of a simple story. They're all simple stories, but honestly I think Mirror Mirror had the most complex and interesting one, and it was handled the best. The Wishing Well is somewhat simple, but it's still good and impactful. In this one, there's a boy who moves to a school. He's the new kid. He's being bullied, and he finds a well out behind his house, and he starts making wishes into it that pertain to getting back to kids that are bullying him. And as you can probably guess, that is a slippery slope and may work in his favor at first, but in the end it will come back to bite him in the butt. I think the title is honestly kind of funny because it's called The Wishing Well, which is just basically a wishing well, but also it's wishing you well. He is not wishing these people well. He is wishing ill will upon them, and I think the title is kind of cheeky and hilarious in that way, and that he is not wishing well upon others. He is very much wishing malicious intent and revenge on others. But the way that the revenge is enacted on the other characters, the way that the well is characterized is very interesting, very unique for a book like this, and honestly I think this is kind of a gem. This is where it kind of have started falling off for me. This one is a little derivative. The main character sees an old man who is a ghost sitting in a rocking chair across from his house, and he meets this ghost and talks to him, and things take off from there. A bunch of bad things start happening in town. Once things start really going though, and you find out what it is behind everything, that's kind of where it lost my interest. I was like, this is not super original. I mean, it's about a rocking chair, but and the ending I did not like. I don't want to spoil it because I genuinely think these are fun reads, fun little reads that are worth reading, and that you should go and read these yourself if you want something fun for summerween especially. Like, these are perfect. They're short, sweet, just pop one open and read it and give yourself some spooky vibes. They're perfect for summerween. But I enjoyed reading it well enough. This one was the least interesting. Dr. Death, it's just the premise is the weakest. It was kind of boring. It was not that interesting. There is an evil doctor. I can kind of understand how kids have a fear of going to the doctor because they don't understand everything. Even adults that are grown fear going to the doctor and they don't understand everything because how could they? But it's also scary because you have to trust your doctor. I guess that's where the fear comes in. It turns out they cannot trust their doctor. He is peddling potions. He has ones that do good things for you, but he also has ones that do bad things for you, and he's only willing to give out the bad ones. They find out that he is prescribing them bad potions, that is. He's basically like an evil, immortal potion master. And I'm not even gonna call that a spoiler because it's like halfway through the book that you learn that, and then it's very simple how they take care of the issue from there. Honestly, a lot of these are funny because they are realistic. They play on fears that are relevant to adults, but even kids can understand. The wishing well. A lot of ways that the revenge is enacted on the other children is water comes after them in different ways, which is honestly horrifying. Because the horrifying part of this book is water damage, and that is honestly horrifying to an adult, to anyone. The real horror is water damage and being scared to go to the doctor, apparently. And everyone is scared of mirrors. Everyone has always had that thought that, like, mirrors are creepy. I thought the way they handled that story was very interesting. Personifying the mirror, kind of. Like, what has this mirror seen? But anyway, these books are all short, sweet, super enjoyable. Honestly, I read them all within like 2 days, which honestly, if I had really locked in, could have read them all in one day. I will say that except for Mirror Mirror, which is about a family of 3 girls, the rest of these books are about young boys. There's a light undercurrent of misogyny against their mothers. And in particular, I remember one line that I did not like. I don't remember what book it was from. I think it was Dr. Death. The boy said that his mother was super annoying and like naggy, as a lot of young boys think their moms are, I guess. How true is that? Like, how many young boys actually think their mothers are super naggy and like annoying? Because I think that being a common thread in all of these books is a little sexist. Like, you cannot convince me that every little boy thinks their mom is the most annoying person in the world. I know that some do, but the fact that in these books every boy thinks their mom is annoying, I feel like is a problem. Like, I don't think that's a good thing to encourage in order to relate to young boys, is that feeling. He is talking about how his mother is super naggy and annoying, and then he's saying, I hope my crush isn't like that. I'm like, excuse me? That is sexism 101. I know I'm getting super heated and passionate about sexism in these Dollar Tree Goosebumps dupes. Oh my god. But it's a problem. Why is there a light undercurrent of misogyny in all of these except for one of them I read? Clearly most of these are aimed at young boys, which I think is also kind of a problem because obviously girls like to read horror too. When I was in school, the girls ate up the Goosebumps books too. Girls crave horror. Obviously nothing is perfect, and these are from the Dollar Tree. Despite the flaws, these books are super fun, and honestly, they gave me what I was looking for out of reading a Goosebumps book. I cannot get my hands on Goosebumps books, but these satisfied my craving. They gave me short, small doses of horror. They're not super scary because they're kids' books, but you can understand where the kernel of fear comes from and why that situation would be scary if you were in it, and that's good enough for me. Honestly, super worth it. They were $1.50 each, so I spent like $6-7 on 4 of these, and I had a fun time reading them. And like I said, they kind of got me out of my reading slump, so I have these to thank for that. I don't remember how Goosebumps was on misogyny and how they talked about their parents. I'm pretty sure in every book for young children it talks about how annoying their parents are in general, which is fine, but it's not when it's only the mothers being talked about. So I haven't read enough Goosebumps books to compare it in that aspect, but despite that, if we're looking at the books outside of that, they're good. They're perfectly serviceable and they're a lot of fun. So if you also are looking for some summerween fun, some light horror reading fun, or something to break your reading slump, I definitely recommend picking up a few of these. Not sponsored. Not an ad. I just had a lot of fun with them. And honestly, I would love to go back to Dollar Tree and see if they stock more of them, and I would read more of these. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking about these books. I enjoyed reading these books. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!